Bam, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, if you will. Hope you guys are vibing out there, having a good start to your day. I've actually been up like way too long. Went to sleep early for like my standards, like 10 p.m. last night. That's like, you guys don't understand how different that is. And yeah, got up early today. In solidarity with Mia Moore, she had to get up early too. And while I got up, obviously we did editing for a couple videos, Josh's video, and then we re-debuted Rich on the channel. So a lot of cool stuff happening on the channel. If you didn't catch that video, it was posted less than 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. So if you guys want to show some love to that, it's like a 3-minute PrizePicks video. My boy Rich went over 3 of his favorite PrizePicks baseball player props to target tonight. In this video, I'm going to double down on some of those picks. We're going to look at every game on the baseball slate and try to walk away with a good understanding, a good core of players, core of stacks, core of pitchers we're going to be rostering and deploying in DFS tonight, and then also for prop betting. So that's what I am going to do here. Shout out to live chat. What up, Gilbert? What up, Josh and Chris? This is Deco PP Taco, 23 kills out of 32 kills, start of map 2. That sounds good. I don't know what that means, but I imagine he hit his taco, right? Jimmy Butler points, 21.5, first taco. Nice. All right, cool. We'll definitely we'll be diving all up in the Taco Tuesday specials for PrizePicks on the next show. Let me make sure we get into... Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. Let's start our research off with the weather. As always, make sure we refresh it. Make sure we have the most updated weather report from Roto Grinders and Kevin Roth. And yeah, it looks like a couple trouble spots. Colorado at Philly, says light rain all game. As usual with light rain games, it just comes down to if they decide they want to play or not. It will never be heavy enough to stop them if they do plan on playing. Let's just see if it gets their pregame tarp or pregame warmer. All right, cool. Miami at Washington. Yeah, oh God, we love Washington rain games. Moderate rain pregame and around first pitch likely causes a late start. That rain will gradually lighten, clear between the game time hours. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. And then Baltimore and New York, similar to Philly. Light rain all game. Guesses that they just play wet, but I can't say I feel strongly about that. All right, cool. Lots of rain to keep an eye on. So we're going to put yellow on the Yankee game, yellow on the Nationals game, and he just had straight up orange on the Philly game, right? So we'll also slap a little bit of orange on that. Where are we at? Phillies. Did I pass it? I must have passed it. No, I didn't. What was that? Buzzy? What? Buzzy? Crack Fortnite player extraordinary. Where am I missing the Philly? Or is that just not on the main slate? Is that what? Oh, that's one of those afternoon games. All right, cool. Then we don't have to worry about it. What up, Johnny? Watched a lot of your videos. Super good, man. Was wondering the best stack tonight. So I haven't dove too deep into this slate yet, but I was trying to walk away with it just on the surface. I'll pull up all this. I gotta get some lineups updated. YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Let me see. Chat, let me know if I drop frames. I did forget to change the resolution. I record at a higher resolution than I stream. Hopefully that doesn't impact us too much here. But looking at the main slate here, top stacks that stood out. Obviously, I would like the Yankees. We're worried about weather, though. They have a 4.8 run total. Blue Jays against Nick Pivetta, I'd be in on that. Dodgers have a 6 run total. They're probably going to be the highest owned stack, but for good reason. And then I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence with the Angels. There's a chance I think that Ohtani doesn't play tonight just because he pitches tomorrow. Sometimes they rest him, so we'll look out for that. But that's the ones on the surface. Baseball's been really low scoring lately. The White Sox for sure as well. But we'll dive deeper and deeper and deeper. Qual Duo Cash Cup Finals. Yo, let's go. Not a big baseball. Yeah, baseball as well. Bro, are you streaming Cash Cups? I have to check them out, man. I haven't been able to follow a lot of comp because everyone that I used to watch for comp quit. Even at the high stakes, like Tfue. I used to love watching Tfue and Scope just run scrims, and then they stopped. And it's just I didn't really care about the next guys up. This Jordan Hicks guy legit? Yeah, he throws gas. I mean gas. All right, so let's start with the first game here. Yankees and the Orioles. Jordan Lyles on the bump up against Luis Severino. Jordan Lyles came into this season with a 5.37 expected ERA. Let me skip this song. Voices in my head. All right, there we go. That's better. 4.7 Sierra. Let's see how he's done so far this year. Pretty sure the Orioles pitching staff has been a little bit overachieving thus far. They did lose John Means for the season. He's got to get Tommy John surgery. So let's go to game log. High discipline, still more of a contact guy, 9% swinging strike rate. And then overall 408 exit, 417 Sierra. Ground ball rate 45%, fly ball rate is at 26%, but the line drive rate's also pretty high, so he's allowing a decent bit of line drive rate. So contact guy against the Yankees, yeah, I will be in on the Yankees stack. You don't have to tell me twice. Severino on the bump for the Yankees. I know if you look at the results of that last game against the Tigers, it didn't really put together the strikeouts, but when I was watching the game live, it was constantly getting to 2 strike counts, and then for whatever reason, he wasn't able to put them away. It would let them catch up in counts, and then hitting contact. And it was just a weird first 2 days of that series against the Tigers. That's the series where Garrett Cole just absolutely imploded, and it was cold. It was But Severino's underlying metrics have been just fine. Through 3 games, he has like a 12.7, 13% swing and strike rate. Let me pull it up for you. So I feel like, just like what we talked about with Noah Syndergaard, I feel like the strikeouts are coming, right? If you're going to have a 13% swing and strike rate, you're going to start getting more than 2 or 3 strikeouts. So I do like him to be a strikeout per inning. I love this matchup against the Orioles. Orioles are striking out second most on the season so far as a team. And then just in general, if you look at their projected lineup right now and look at their last 2 years of sample size, especially against right-handed pitching, there's a lot of 1 and 4s, right? Mountcastle, Rougned Odor, Ramon Urias, Ben Boone, Jorge Mateo, all guys to strike out 25-30% of the time. So I like the spot for Severino. We talked about him on the PrizePicks video. His 5.5 strikeout prop line is a fun line to take the over on. For pitching today, the only hesitation I would have on Severino is he is coming back after being gone for a couple years with injuries. So I feel like out of any of the pitchers in the starting rotation for the Yankees, he's a little bit more wrapped in bubble wrap. But 88 pitches in that last outing is a good sign for him being stretched out. Maybe because of the matchup he can get a little bit more, but remember, the rain in this one could make things a little bit weird, especially if at times it pours a little bit harder and they do take a little bit of a break. So he's got to come with a little bit of risk, and I mean that not just for DFS but for prop betting as well. So I like the thought of Severino, but we are dealing with a couple of moving variables when it comes to rostering. What up, Team Underground? Off today. That means ton of action. Let's go, baby. Hey, there's some nice tournaments in the lobbies on both Fanduel and DraftKings for baseball tonight. DraftKings had like a $10 50K to first. It was like $10, 10 cents, something like that. Looks really, really tempting, right? Is it mandatory to stack with your pitchers? No, absolutely not. There's actually no correlation at all, other than they could get him the win, right? Other than that, you don't. Severino won't benefit individually from Aaron Judge homering, meaning it's not as correlated as if DJ LeMahieu hits a double and then Judge hits a homer and then Judge gets the RBI while DJ gets the run. It's not mandatory at all. Matter of fact, there should be you should just delete that as a thought. Back in the day, where we talk about the importance of getting a win for a pitcher on Fanduel or whatever, yeah, having a bat in there does, there you can loosely correlate it for the win points, but trying to rely on win points in baseball is probably a little bit flawed. So no, don't worry about having your pitcher's offense in your lineup for sure. I don't really want to get behind any Orioles bats here, but Severino can give up some power at times. Last year did have a little bit of a home run problem to lefties. Now, none of the recent sample size is really worth overrating, but he's a heavy fastball slider guy. Sliders can hang, especially in the rain. So if you thought there was some pop in this lineup, maybe a Mullins, Santander, Trey Mancini, somebody like that, I wouldn't talk you off that ledge, but I'm more so on Severino. And then I'm definitely on the Yankees offense. Finally saw a little bit of life out of them in that final Guardians game. A note, Aaron Hicks his wife had a baby, so he's put on the paternity leave. The corresponding move was they called up Miguel Andujar, who is raking in the minors, but I don't know that would make him part of the lineup today. Maybe just a bat off the bench, but we'll see. My guess would be Judge probably plays center field in the absence of Aaron Hicks, and then probably get Gallo left field, Stanton right field. I guess this is a range of outcome for Donaldson to play third, but he probably, let's see, infield is going to be Rizzo first base, Glaber second base, Isaiah. So I guess there could be a thought between DJ and Donaldson at who plays third base and who plays DH today. So maybe there's a chance, but I don't think I'm expecting Andujar to start here. But it is worth noting that Hicks is not going to be with the team today. He has been hitting decently. DK's got a free NBA contest giving away 2 NBA Finals tickets. Wow, that sounds amazing. I've been playing MLB DFS wrong for this first couple weeks of playing it. As far as what, just stacking bats with is it mandatory to stack? No. Yeah, if you were playing strictly to play bats on your pitcher's offense, then yeah, that's probably a little bit of a process mistake, but that's fine. The season's still early. We can correct any of those mistakes. But no, it's a quarterback and receiver is instant correlation, right? Touchdown, double points for each catch and stuff like that. There's no true, and the same with the offense, right? If Severino throws 7 pitches, 10 strikeouts. That doesn't help Aaron Judge at all. So yeah, no, just don't even worry about that. Create pitching pool separate to your stacks. Let's move on to the Marlins and Nats. Sandy Alcantara taking on Josiah Gray. So this one is another one of those weather games, and Washington does have a reputation preceding them as making predictably unpredictable decisions when it comes to weather. So I take that with a grain of salt. I guess as long as they look like they're going to play, or if they open the gates, we just have to trust the process on them getting the game in. But we also have to deal with the rain maybe interrupting the game. I do like that Roth went yellow-orange first, so we can lean a little bit more towards yellow as his lean. And I do think both pitchers we can make cases for. Josiah Gray does have a lot of strikeout propensity, and Sandy Alcantara has been really, really solid. But with this weather, I'm going to go ahead and have that downgraded to probably putting them in like a tier 3 category until we could tighten up guess on them playing a little bit more cleaner. With that said, with Gray, I do like to target him with some power bets, but I also was interested in the strikeout prop. So we're playing a couple of ranges of outcomes for him. Looking at his splits so far this season, his swing and strike rate is not what you think it would be. I think I saw it was like 10% earlier, 10.4%. But coming into the season last year, he had a swing and strike rate sitting around 14%. So while 10% is still okay, it's not elite like the 14% was, and the 55% first pitch strike. You'd probably like to see that come up a little bit more as well. But the xFIP's fine. The Sierra's okay. He does have some strikeout ability, at least built into him. Against the Marlins, though, I really don't have a lot of front-end interest into stacking the Marlins, but Jazz Chisholm as a leadoff guy is a very special player. Got power, got speed. When this team does score runs, it likely has something to do with Jazz Chisholm, and then Josiah Gray just showing the power problems that he allowed last year. And if we dig into what he's doing so far this year, he's allowed 2 homers to lefties, and the hard contact rate so far this year, if we check out the batted ball data, 36% hard contact rate to lefties, a 36% pull rate, and the fly ball rate is at almost 60% with a 28% line drive rate. So small sample size, but if that continued, that would be really, really good for some of these power lefties, i.e. a Jazz Chisholm, who probably leads off here and might be able to sit on that first pitch. So keep an eye on that. Jesus Sanchez, Joey Wendell, I'm not as enamored with those guys, but Chisholm definitely makes a lot of sense. And then Gray, coming into the season, also had power problems to righties last year, so that could come back to haunt him. So I do like the thought of Josiah Gray in tournaments, but he has such a downside that I also kind of like the thought of Marlins, and maybe we can get both of those spectrums at a without giving them too much of our equity in our ownership tonight in our MME. In short entry, I probably wouldn't really have to get to either side, but I think Jazz Chisholm's a pretty solid option in any format if he's leading off. Lorenzo says rain should be clearing by 8:30. Let's go. Got 100% rain at first pitch, probably delaying the game. That would be a good sign, I think. Sometimes run away from stacks because I thought you always had to correlate it with the pitcher. No, never let that worry about. Never let that make you. It's just irrelevant. Ultimately, stacking has been a little bit rougher though because home runs are down and scoring so far has been down. So we have seen a couple weird lineups take the top of our contest lately. I think the home runs, although they're probably not going to return to what they were a year or two ago because of the juice balls versus the dead balls. As the weather starts increasing and players adjust, I think the home runs you'll start seeing more of these 10-run games. But I think there's a lot of stuff going against hitting right now. But I think it'll come back. Alcantara, last year on the road, he had an xFIP sitting around 4, but he's a heavy ground ball guy and keeps the hard contact low. So, like, if you want to get into some Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, some professional hitters, sure, go for it. But I think I respect Alcantara enough not to stack against him. But I will say this lineup does have a lot of switchies and a lot of lefties. So, if you did end up on a Nat stack because of a wet, ugly game, sure, whatever. Both pitchers, I think, have a little bit of upside for tournaments, but I'd rather play Alcantara in Miami than here. So at best, these pitchers are going to end up in the tier 3 for me, and I could get myself into a couple of these bats. I'm holding off on the full stack thoughts, waiting for the lineups to come out. Cubs scored 21 runs. You still think the ball is dead, bro? Yes, very much so. Wrigley is more likely to score runs, and was that against the Rockies? Some really, really bad pitching in that one. And then we've seen a couple of blow-up games with position players on the mound. So it is what it is. There's always outliers, right? Even when things were neutral, we would see AT&T Park have shootouts. It's all, one game. It's easy to go one game sample to show the worst or the best, but statistically, home runs are down for this part of the year, even considering the historical temps and stuff like that. So there's certainly something in the baseball. Certainly. What's the best stack in your opinion? 4-3. Just the approach. I like 4-3s on Fanduel. I like 5-2s or just 5s on DraftKings. But I'll never be cocky enough or whatever to say that's the best one. I think everyone's going to have their own preference, and stacking is really going to come down to your own risk tolerance, how many lineups you're running. I probably wouldn't get too attached to stacking. If I was running 5 lineups or less, then I would probably have a better chance of success by cherry picking some of the better bats. With stacking, especially in an MME context, you're saying I have this many lineups and I'm going to go completely super science sell out for ceiling. You're looking for the teams that score 10 runs with 4 homers, stuff like that, and you really give up any bit of floor that you might have because you're going to take more chances on those 180 batting average guys in the bottom of the order, something like that, to accomplish the stack. So for me, running 100 to 150, I like the 5-man stacks on DraftKings, and I like the 4-3s on FanDuel. But every slate's different, and based on slate size and whatnot, you can definitely have different preferences. And then, like I said, as you play, as you get more time, you're gonna see what you prefer, what's giving you a better floor, and everyone has the same ceiling that we're chasing after. But whatever you choose, like whatever your process is, kind of stick with it. Give it some time to play out, a week or two. Don't just say, all right, I did 3-3 tonight. That didn't work. Let me try 4-3 tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give it some time and literally trust the process to see any type of return. They hit 1 home run in that game. Yeah, right. Exactly. But yeah, there's always going to be wild games, though. Like, even if you're playing with a concrete softball. But I'm just mean statistically, scoring is a little bit down, especially with the home run. And the home run is the big story. Because that's what we care about, and that's what the casual fan is interested in. All right, let's move on to the Blue Jays game. Blue Jays hosting the Red Sox. Nick Pivetta taking a bump up against Kevin Gausman. I typed Nick Pivetta twice because I'm a weirdo. Now it's fixed. We have a 3.5 implied run total for the Red Sox, 4.8 for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays almost a 200 favorite on the money line. They don't have a 5 implied run total, and I'm willing to go ahead and like them no matter what. I think Nick Pivetta is somebody that I will constantly pick on. He does have some strikeout propensity, especially to righties, a 26% K rate last year to righties, but the xFIP over 4.2, the home run per 9 is high, and we know he throws a slider, I believe, right? Nick Pivetta, 21% usage on that slider, 24% on that curveball, so 2 breaking balls to back up a fastball. If we go look at his metrics so far this season, check out his game log discipline. I usually don't have to do too much justification to tell you that the Blue Jays are a potent offense. He has a 10% swinging strike rate on the season, so it's more contact than not. He did just pitch against Toronto in his last outing. In that game, he had a 6.01 xFIP, a 5.76 Sierra, and the results were 1 homer, 5 earnings. He has allowed 4 or more earned runs in each start so far. So yeah, I'm in on the Blue Jays. I'm honestly a little surprised that their run total didn't start at 5 here, all things considered. So no Pivetta for me at all today. I will definitely get to some Blue Jays stacks. So do I have that tab up? Here we do. All right, so let's add Blue Jays to the list down here. make my little pull here. And then we're going to put Severino as a tier 3. And I'm going to hold off on Josiah Gray and Alcantara right now. Bomb detector wise, who stands out against Nick Pivetta? We're looking for 4+ ratings in the bomb detector. George Springer 403, Matt Chapman 408. So those are 2 guys to keep an eye on. I believe Chapman went yard yesterday. And then we also got a grand slam out of, was it Bo Bichette? So yeah, their offense brought it last night, even though Eovaldi tried to hold them off, hold the floodgates off in the beginning here. Gossman on the bump, man. Last year, just an incredible season. 3.42 Sierra, 3.49 expected ERA, and then so far this season, so good, right? So I think the Red Sox were starting to dull, right, erode our high respect and expectations for their offense, and there'll be games where it starts coming around, but so far the Red Sox have just not been that guy, pal. So I'm willing to keep kind of picking on them. Gossman has a 20.7% swinging strike rate so far this season. That's probably unsustainable, but 74% first pitch strike with a 21% swinging strike rate is like elite levels. So if he even stuck around there, even if he went to like 68% first pitch strike, 65% versus a 15% swinging strike rate, like that's still regression that would keep him as potentially the best in baseball. I don't know that those numbers are sustainable, but man, a 206 Sierra, a 182 xFIP, like these numbers isolated, you take the name apart, that's like the best pitcher in baseball. So Kevin Gossman at $8,700 on DraftKings seems like a severe misprice based on the metrics. So I will definitely get to some Gossman. Love that he went 8 innings last start, 88 pitches, so we might keep a baseline expectation around 90 pitches. I think because of all this information, I'm going to go ahead and throw Gossman as a tier 2 for now, and we might get him to the tier 1. I think he's just way too deep on DraftKings. Obviously, there's nothing in his underlying metrics that makes me want to go out of my way to stack against him. If I wanted to pick on him, he did have a 1+ homer per 9 to righties last year. Maybe somebody that can make contact more than they don't, like a Xander Bogaerts or something like that. But I'm way more on the Gossman side here pre-flop. I'm not going to be really there on the Red Sox offense. And then no Nick Pivetta for me. Give me the Blue Jays stack up. And that's all I got to say about that. Can I check DMs? Yeah, I got you. Yeah. What's up, Jason? Royal stack on deck tonight. Go get some with some cash bats around them. Could be a surprise. All right, we'll look into that. I like the White Sox quite a bit. 1 second. All right. Sorry, I had to handle some. The Pirates scored 0. Yeah, all right. White Sox hosting the Royals. Daniel Lynch on the bump, taking on Dallas Keuchel. 2 southpaws going at it. I do like the thought of any offense against Dallas Keuchel, but I also really like the thought of the White Sox against Daniel Lynch, Tim Anderson, Luis Robert, Yasmani Grandal, Jose Abreu. I mean, these numbers are absolutely going to pop in the home run bomb detector model. We saw Eloy Jimenez go down the other day. They're still without Yoel Moncada. I get that, but man, this White Sox offense is not going to be sleeping that long, and I think this is going to be one of the most potent offenses against left-handed pitching. And I could pick on Daniel Lynch all day long, all day strong. Comes into this season with a 5.19 Sierra, a 6.32 expected ERA, a 1.63 WHIP. I mean, those metrics were really bad, and I think Daniel Lynch is really not showing us anything to suggest that he's not going to be susceptible to keep having some blow-up spots here. So I think the White Sox might early on be one of my favorite stacks on the slate. 12.3% swinging strike rate for Lynch so far. Look at the batted ball data. Still got a elevated xFIP at 4.5. The Sierra under 4 in the 2 starts. However, if you look at the Minnesota Twins, a little bit better against lefties. That Sierra reached 5. Same with the xFIP. He just had a above average game against the Cardinals. So I'm willing to bank on the broader sample size, digging into last year, and pick on him. I think the White Sox are looking like looking like that guy Powell. Do we know if Tim Anderson has served that suspension or appealed it or got it overruled? Because I wonder if tonight would be the night. If it is, that does hurt my hopes a little bit. 424. I know it came out that he was supposed to have a 1-game suspension, and I don't think he served it yet. So we'll see if he has to serve it tonight. But if he doesn't, and this lineup comes out like this, White Sox are one of my favorite stacks. And then, like we said, Dallas Keuchel, we just showed he couldn't get out the first inning against was the first inning against Cleveland? Yeah, or he couldn't get out of the second inning against Cleveland. 7 earnings, 10 hits allowed, 10 runs, contact. Now all those hits were ground balls outside of one. That was that home run. 11 ground balls to 1 fly ball. So I wonder if the metrics are going to tell us that his defense is a little bit more to blame here. That might have been like a Tim Anderson error. I know Anderson was like leading the league in errors for the position early on. Let's look at batted ball for that game. 86 xFIP. All right, xFIP doesn't back him up. The Sierra kind of helps him out a little bit at 409. With that said, he is a contact pitcher. So if you thought that Whit Merrifield, Salvador Perez, guys like that could get through there, Bobby Witt Jr., I certainly wouldn't talk you off of that. And then Salvador Perez has one of the higher ratings on the bomb detector, 4.11. So I don't mind getting some Royals bats there, Jason. Makes a lot of sense. I do like the White Sox more, but I'm not anti-Royals here. I'm not touching either pitcher, but give me White Sox. White Sox against lefties is going to be gospel for me, and that's not going to change today. And I'm not really that fearful of the Royals bullpen. And I think so far the Royals bullpen has been one of the worst bullpens. Let me double check that. So we'll go team pitching stats. Let's go to relievers. And let's sort by xFIP. KC, where are you at? Oh, KC's actually further down than I thought they would be. 3.47. I said it'd been better. How about in home runs? Gotta give him the respect there. Home run per 9. Which bullpen is giving up the most bombs right now? The Angels bullpen? Okay. Rangers, Twins, Guardians. Okay. Alright. I'll put a little respect on Casey's bullpen there. We'll see. Small sample size, but give me the White Sox. And then, give me some of the Royals. What up, AJ? Shout out to Shaolin. South Beach. Tim Anderson's in the lineup? Okay. That's good to know. That lineup come out? I didn't see confirmed lineups. Let me refresh my page here. Oh, there's no, it's from the early slate. I only have a Braves lineup, but my thing's on a little bit of delay. But that's cool. All right, then that's good to know. All right, speaking of the Braves, Cubs and the Braves. Next game on the docket, we've got a 3.6 implied run total for the Cubs, 4.6 for the Braves. We do have a confirmed Braves lineup. I'm looking at Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, Austin Riley. All right, Austin. Marcelo Ozuna, Travis d'Arnaud, Alex Dickerson batting 6th. Then Adam Duval County, Travis Demerit. And hold me closer, trying to dance, baby. We got that green lighted, and then Stroman's on the bump here for the Cubs. Stroman really can't stand that guy. Rough start for him, right? Let's go pull up the game log for Marcus Stroman. Usually a decent real-life pitcher, but he can suppress the upside of opposing stacks. So far this season, a 7.7% swing and strike rate. Again, typically that's by design. He'll keep the ball on the ground, 50% ground ball rate, and the xFIP and the Sierra is backing him up here. So, more things stay the same. The more things change, the more things stay the same. The more things change, the more things stay the same. From the Department of Redundancy department. So I don't want to play Stroman at all in this slate. I just don't know if I'm getting redeeming upside for DFS tournaments. With that said, he does have enough spoilage to maybe prevent a full-on slot of Braves bats to be optimal. Not really a home run problem. When he did give us some bombs last year, it was more so to righty. So maybe Austin Riley, Ozuna, somebody like that catches him. Max Fried on the bump for the Braves. He's been pretty solid. Last year, he had a 53% ground ball rate to righties and a 48% ground ball to lefties. This projected Cubs lineup is going to bat all righty. We'll see if it comes out like that. And there are some bats that have some promise against lefties, but I think against Max Fried, it's kind of the same situation. I think Fried is better than Marcus Stroman because I don't know. I just like him a little bit more for strikeouts. But this is a similar situation where both pitchers are ground ball guys, and they could just eat this game up, and we might have a 2.5 hour, 3 hour game here when it's all said and done. Do we want to pitch some Max Fried? Well, maybe. Let me go look at his game log so far this season, metric-wise. 11.8% swing and strike rate. XFIP and Sierra are just great. And then the ground ball rate still at 53%. Last 2 games, he held the opponents over 60%, including the Dodgers, and that's respect. What do we have on outs for Max Fried here on PrizePicks? We have him at 17.5 pitching outs, 5.5 strikeouts. So Fried has a pitch count that has been built up to over 90. So at 90 pitches, do I get 18 outs? Right? Can I get 6 innings out of Max Fried today? Hopefully I don't have CB Buckner behind the plate like I did yesterday to get me in trouble. Let's go look at Fried. Control F, Fried. 90 pitches, I'm getting 19 outs. All right, so I'm going to add that to my notes on... let's go PrizePicks. Max Fried over, what do we say, 17.5 outs? All right, cool. So I do like that, right? We can't use them. Well, I guess you could use them for DFS, but I do like that for PrizePicks. So we'll put that in the mix. K rates against lefties in this Cubs lineup really not that great, but the guys that do strike out, they do strike out. Contreras, Patrick Wisdom, Jonathan Villar, and Hermosillo all have 25+% K rates to lefties. So Max Fried might get more strikeouts than you might expect him to get too. So I like Fried for prop betting. 9K, I'd want 20+ fantasy points out of Fried. I think that's very possible. So I might add him to the bottom of the barrel here, and we'll see if we come up on that. I would like a little bit more strikeout potential. And the Cubs, got to give them credit, man. Their strikeout rates are not as high as you might think. Rodon, Buxton, Jock, Abreu, solid for cash core. Yeah, I like all those. Rodon, Buxton, Jock Peterson, and Abreu. I like Abreu. I might feel better with maybe like a Lewis Robert above Abreu, or even a Grandal. Those guys hit lefties quite a bit. Abreu is really kind of home run or nothing, right? His speed's not what it used to be. At least with Robert, he hits for the same average, if not better, than Abreu against lefties. Hits for the same, if not better, power. And he's one of the fastest dudes in baseball, and he'll be pretty aggressive. So I'd probably like to raise my floor a little bit with Robert. He also has a higher rating in the bomb detector. So that would probably be my suggestion, is maybe if you can switch from Abreu to Robert. But with that said, I love the whole White Sox team, but I just think Abreu, for cash core, we don't want just power hitters. We really want some OBP guys that give us a little bit of power, and also the guys like Luis Robert, Randy Arozarena, Trey Turner, guys with speed, Starling Marte, guys with speed on top of a little bit of pop, help raise the floor if they get on and steal a base and stuff like that. Tim Anderson's leading off. Okay, cool. Let me see if I got that. We'll check the rundfs.com Discord. Yeah, okay. Anderson, AJ Pollock second, Grandal, Abreu. Oh, so Robert's not in the lineup. Well, cancel everything I just said. This lineup is a lot less. It's not what I was expecting, but I don't hate it. Let's get some names typed up in there. I'm still gonna stack them, but you're right. You could stick with Jose Abreu. Grandal, Abreu, Gavin Sheets. Isn't he a lefty? Andrew Vaughn. Adam, is it Hastley? Is that his name? Man, I'm actually somewhat disappointed in this lineup. Wait, is Vaughn batting second or is it Pollock? Vaughn's batting second, bruh. All right, well then let's fix that. Andrew Vaughn, Jose Abreu is batting third. Yasmani Grandal. So Underdog threw out two different tweets at first. Jake Berger. This is not the same lineup I was hoping for. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but the first tweet that came out for the Underdog was Pollock in the 2-hole, and then I guess they fixed it and put Vaughn in the 2-hole, so yeah, we'll go off of that. I still like the thought of the White Sox, but I liked it a lot more with Luis Robert. But hey, AJ Pollock, he's been matching lefties for years. Andrew Vaughn certainly got pop. He's really cheap on Fanduel now to be that stopgap between Anderson and Abreu. And then Yasmani Grandal is going to have one of the higher ratings in the bottom detector. Same with AJ Pollock. So I'm still going to stack the White Sox, but it does change up a little bit based on that lineup. Stacking Braves, Albies, Rileys, and who else's money? Hey, Riley I like for sure. If we're stacking Braves, I'm more so banking on talent of the team versus the matchup, because like I said, Stroman has such a high ground ball rate. Like, he can kind of chop games in half and kind of take away what you need to make an impact in tournaments tonight, which is the long ball. Let's move on to this Tigers game, Tigers and Twins. I don't have a Tigers lineup yet. I do have I guess we do have a Twins lineup yet. Or we do have a Twins lineup. Do we? No. Okay. Love it. Chris Paddock versus Erod. Both teams implied for less than 4 runs, especially the Tigers at 3.3 and the Twins at 3.8. So Chris Paddock getting a little bit of respect here with that team total. We just looked at the league and their bullpen ERAs. The Twins bullpen has certainly had some blow-up spots. So is Chris Paddock that guy now that we thought he could have been in his early games with San Diego? See what we're working with so far this season. 11.8% swing and strike rate. Cool. Batted ball says 3.14 xFIP, 3.13 Sierra. That's cool. Ground ball rate's above everything else. And then how's the walk rate looking? Walks are great. Strikeouts are eh. Average is a little higher than you want it, but the BABIP is also a little bit on the unlucky side, 355. So far, not the worst metrics for Paddock at 7K. And this Tigers lineup is a wide range of outcomes on how they actually perform. A lot of 20% K rates too. So I still might be on the wait and see here, but man, I guess I understand what Vegas is doing here. And it's also just 40 degrees up there in that Minnesota target field game, so maybe the temp's low enough to really take the air out of the bats and away from under the balls. But anyway, 7K Chris Paddock. Any of you guys find yourself with some Paddock? I don't think I'm gonna get to playing any Chris Paddock tonight, but certainly not the best environment for offense in that game tonight. So I'm going to stay away from that. Erod versus the Twins. I think that's where it becomes a little bit more intriguing, because on paper, I like the Twins really any day, especially against lefties. Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, Jorge Polanco, all guys I don't mind loading up on. Might see Kyle Garlick, who has really good numbers, especially power numbers against lefties. Miguel Sano, if he can make contact. Ryan Jeffers lately finding some extra base hits. So there are some names that definitely grab my interest. But Erod is somebody I got a little respect for. So let's look into what Erod's been doing. And he's coming off a couple of starts for them. I think he had a solid game against the Yankees a couple games back. 7.5% swinging strike rate. That's really low. That's not what I was expecting. 6% swinging strike rate in that game against the Yankees. So that series was really, really cold. Both sides of that game. Not that game, but that series. That was the series where Garrett Cole imploded. Luis Severino couldn't get strikeouts. Do we think that Erod's going to be a sub 10% swinging strike rate guy? Probably not. Almost 12% swinging strike rate last year, and he's been a 25+% strikeout guy. So why is this happening? So let's go look at some indicators that might suggest some differences. So usually when I'm looking at a significant dip in a certain stat to kind of give it reasoning, I like to see if his pitch types are different, his pitch velocity is different, or if it's got no spin on the pitch or something like that. So looking at this season, his fastball's sitting around 92 miles an hour, the slider's about 82 miles an hour, the cutter 88, and the changeup 85. So we look at the pitch report, which shows a lot of what he did last year. Was fastball, slider, cutter, changeup. Fastball is about 92, slider about 82, cutter 88, changeup 85. So those numbers are pretty much the same. Now we'll go check out Baseball Savant to see if he's just getting less whiffs on specific pitches, if they're not breaking like they used to, the spin rate's not the same. And if the answer is no, then it could just be coincidence and short sample kind of skewing who he should be going forward. So let's see, this season fastball. So he has only one pitch so far that has a whiff rate above 20%. That's his changeup. I guess the slider's right at 20%. Spin rate on the slider 2134. Last year it was 2140. So that's not different. Changeup 1977 on the spin rate, 1884. So is finding 100 RPMs there. And then fastball 2155 versus 2177. So all that stuff is pretty much the same. So I guess I'd probably be banking on positive regression, right? Progression. Last year's fastball, yeah, it's all about the same. So he's essentially, so far the metrics tell us he's about the same pitcher as he was last year in terms of pitch usage, velocity, spin rate, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna anticipate that the strikeouts are coming, or at least the swinging strike rates, because he was getting strikeouts. So I say all that to say this: 6,300 for Erod versus a team that's implied for less than 4 runs certainly feels playable. And he did get to almost 100 pitches in that last outing against the Yankees. So we could even right some wrongs if Buxton got him early on. So I will get to some Erod tonight. I think I will. I think that's one of those, I'm playing both sides of it. I would love the Twins a little bit more if the temperatures were a little bit higher, but we'll see how this lineup shakes out. But I definitely will have Buxton and Polanco in the player pool. And I'll probably get some dedicated Twin stacks, but not going to be a core stack for now. We'll see, though. Grandal's 2.4K. Yeah, that is crazy. What up, Steve? Hey, Gun. Erod's outside contact percentage 90%. His spin rates are up this season, so he's just getting unlucky. Yeah. I don't know what the sample is on that outside the zone contact rate, but 90%. So last year his outside the zone contact rate was 65%. So it might be a short sample though. 3 games, you never know. But yes, each game so far, when people are swinging outside the zone, they're making contact. So that definitely could be a reason, Rich. That's some good analysis, some good digging. He's also inducing a swing outside the zone 27% of the time. Last year it was 33%. So, all right, I see what it is. They're making, so they're tipping, they're swinging at outside the zone instead of that being the swinging strike. They're making contact. Makes sense. Average right now, Paddock will warm up, give him a bit. Trey Turner, Ozzie Albies, gotta be Trey Turner. I love Ozzie, but Turner's on the, linchpin of the highest implied run total offense on the slate, right? So I probably just go Turner, and Turner's one of those high floor guys based on his speed, his stolen base potential, and he does just have power. Erod's been unlucky for the last 3 years. A little bit. What up, Ariel? Hope you're doing all right. Top pitcher tonight. So far, I'm really liking Gossman points per dollar on DraftKings. And then I do think Erod's a little underpriced, especially at 100 pitches. Matter of fact, what is PrizePicks saying on Erod? I know Erod was one of the initial targets for you, Rich, on the 5.5 Ks, 16.5 outs. 16.5 outs is what, 5.2 innings? That's interesting. That's a maybe. Because, I mean, all respect to Buxton, it's getting a little Troutish with this lineup, though, where it's top heavy, and then the bottom half is just absolutely terrible. Garlic, 33%. Larnack, 34%. Miguel Sano, Ryan Jeffers. I mean, there's a lane of 30+% K rate guys down there. So that 5.5 strikeout, especially showing that he can maybe get us to 100 pitches today, that 5.5 does seem a little low. The K factor likes him for 8 on 100 pitches, so I might get behind that. Let me see. Eduardo Rodriguez over 5.5 Ks. Twins lineup is out. That's good to know. Buxton, Correa, Polanco. Kyle Garlick's batting cleanup. Gio Urshela, Max Kepler, another lefty in the lineup that I can see doesn't strike out as much. Ryan Jeffers, Gilberto Celestino. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I still don't mind it. Alright, let me get caught up on a couple of these other lineups before we move forward. We did get that Yankees lineup. Mayhew, Judgy, Rizzo, Stanton, Donaldson, Gleyber, Torres, Joey Gallo, Isaiah Kiner, Falefa, and Higgy. Alright, so no Hicksy. So that's basically what we expected there. And then the Red Sox lineup came out. This will help us lock in on Gossman. Trevor Story, Verdugo, Bogarts. No Rafael Devers. He's like their main guy. Bro, Kevin Gossman might be the tier 1 off of that. Kike Hernandez. Jackie Bradley. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Christian Arroyo and Christian Vasquez. Bruh. Kevin Gossman. You, my friend, just got yourself a promotion. Tier 1. Kevin Gossman. Devers is their best player. And I already liked him, man. So, I don't know. No Blue Jays yet. Royals and Royals lineup is out. Merrifield, Andrew Benintendi, Salvador Perez, Carlos Santana, Dozier, Bobby Witt, Bobby, oh, Alberto Mondesi, Michael, Nicky Lopez, Bobby. I assume Bobby was absolutely a monster to lefties in the minors, but we'll see just how much of a menace he was. What up, Mighty Saint? Best pitcher tonight. So far for me, I got Kevin Gossman on an island. 'Cause I'm an island boy. Lefties, 381 batting average against lefties last year. 1.2 OPS against lefties last year. 8 homers and 63 at-bats. Good Lord, Bobby. Good Lord. What were you doing in 2020? Oh, there was no money. Okay, well. Bobby Witt, ladies and gentlemen. And that is Royals, right? Yep, Royals, White Sox locked in. Tigers lineup is out. Man, it's just raining lineups on my left screen here. I'm just trying to get caught up. Grossman, Austin Meadows, Javi Baez, Miggy is batting cleanup. Spencer Torkelson. Jimmer Candelario. Jonathan Scope. Tucker Barnhart. Derek Hill. Boom. All right, moving forward. Cardinals hosting the Mets. Chris Bassett taking on Jordan Hicks. Bassett came into the season with a 3.49 expected ERA, 106 WHIP, and Jordan Hicks, he throws gas. He came into the season with a Sierra and all that stuff. That's high, but it was on 10 innings, so we're not really gonna go too heavy in waiting. 10 innings of sample size. We just got to play a little bit of eye test here. First of all, Jordan Hicks, if you're not familiar with him, I know Hunter Green's out there getting a lot of hype for throwing 100 miles an hour. Well, Jordan Hicks is also doing that. And, maybe he's a better closer long term, but right now they got him starting. And he's throwing 99 average fastball. So that's what you want. Last 2 games, 11 and 13% swinging strike rate. That's what you want. The xFIP at 305, the Sierra at 321. That's what you want. So if nothing else, one of the bets that we came up with, and Rich mentioned it in the PrizePicks video, was, hey, Chris Bassett's been pretty solid, and Jordan Hicks, if you're going to hit him, I think it might take you a couple at bats to kind of get there. So kind of like the under in the no-run first inning for Mets and Cardinals. And let me add that to my notes. No-run first inning, Mets, Cardinals. And, just like yesterday, this game was very, very, very low on offense. It didn't start coming together till the 9th inning. And then Arenado made a rare error on a bad throw. And the Mets ended up, taking the lead here. And I kind of expect another low-scoring game between 2 solid starting pitchers. We do have a confirmed Cardinals lineup. That's going to be Tommy Edman batting leadoff. Goldie in the 2-hole, Tyler O'Neill in the 3-hole, Arenado 4th, Dylan Carlson batting 5th, Harrison Bader batting 6th, Paul DeYoung, Andrew Kisner, Brandon Donovan. I don't know who that is. So for the no-run first inning, based on last year's metrics, Bassett did have a little bit of an issue xFIP wise against lefties, but the ground ball rate to righties at over 50%. Maybe if Edman got on, Goldie can ground into a double play or something like that. And Tyler O'Neill, although he brings a lot of power, he also brings a lot of strikeout. And Bassett does have an ability to go out there and get some strikeouts. And I think his swing and strike rate this season is at almost a career high so far. We'll see if that holds up. But so far this season, Bassett is sitting at a 13% swinging strike rate. So that's good to see. And the first pitch strike rate is pretty high. So I like the no-run first inning there. As far as playing either pitcher for tournaments tonight, I think you can make a case for 7.4K Jordan Hicks being a little on the low side if you're just trying to fill out 150 lineups. Last couple games, maybe not. 46, 35 pitches the last 2 games. I guess he's not just stretched out yet, and that's what I worry about these high velo guys. Hicks is working on transitioning from the bullpen to a spot in the rotation. All right, no Jordan Hicks here. What about Bassett, though? I typically don't like to pitch against the Cardinals. Before yesterday, they were one of the lowest K rate teams in the league. But Max Scherzer, and he saw more righties than lefties, and he's just Max Scherzer. So he was able to get double-digit strikeouts. You don't really play best for the strikeouts. You're hoping for a strikeout per inning. You're hoping for 6 innings. And that's probably what you're going to get out of him, and hope for that quality start. So I'm lukewarm on playing Chris Bassitt. I think it's a positive park. A lot of righties in this lineup, and this is probably a more watered-down Cardinals lineup than many people hope and expect for it. Goldie, Arenado's guys that we can get behind on a usual day, and O'Neill has amongst the most power in baseball. But around it today, no Yadi Molina, no Carson's in the lineup. I guess it's just a little weaker than you would want it. So I don't think I'm gonna stack the Cardinals here, other than letting Goldie and Arenado fall where they will, even O'Neill. But again, playing on Chris Bassitt's strengths, that's a 50+% ground ball rate. So nothing no reason to expect the Cardinals to go off here. So I'm gonna double down on that no-run first inning, and then I guess we're gonna get into this Cardinals bullpen. Do we know who backed up Hicks the last time he came out? Let's see, Jordan Hicks. I guess it just wouldn't matter. We just expect I don't know. I guess we can get into 1 through 4, but I probably wouldn't I'm probably not going to full stack the Mets. 3.7 run total. This game's projected for 7.5 runs, 7 runs. That's crazy. That's like one of the lowest totals you'll see all year. Max always dominates in his hometown. I mean, it's Max Scherzer. Gossman pitched rally really well. Yeah, Gossman's looking like a lock, right? What a pinstripe. Went to Vegas and was ticked off that I couldn't play. Come on, man. You couldn't figure out any way to get a gambling itch in Vegas that wasn't DFS. You could have went to a sports book there, right? Like, you just hang out in the casino. They got those. AAA Cubs top 9 at WRC plus versus lefties, and they don't strike out as much as they should. Yeah, I think this early in the season, we're going to have a lot of fun with some of these metrics being higher or lower than they should be. Maybe the Cubs are not going to be a top of the league type of team when it comes to WRC plus and stuff in another month or two. But hey, man, take it and run with it. I ain't going to stop you. Let's get on to the Rangers. Rangers hosting the Astros here. Jake Odorizzi on the bump against Taylor Hearn. Taylor Hearn got a little bit of problem with righties, especially power to righties, a 1.5 homer per 9 last year to righties. We're going to bust open his split so far this year. And while I do that, I feel like I got 3 times the viewership than likes. So if you guys are vibing out on a Tuesday afternoon for some good vibes, man, hit that like button. Let's get it up. If we can get 50 plus likes today, that'd be lit. 9% swinging strike rate on Taylor Hearn so far this season, and then the batted ball data so far: 3.6 xFIP, 3.6 Sierra. So that's actually not bad. All things considered, at Seattle was his biggest mistake, or this worst game on the season so far. So maybe he regresses. Maybe he gets back closer to that 4 Sierra, 4 expected ERA type of guy. With that said, he is facing the Astros lineup, where I just don't have any interest picking on, and they don't have a ton of strikeout upside built into their lineup. So I would be more likely to pick on Taylor Hearn and that Rangers bullpen than not. As a matter of fact, just to remind some of you guys before that weren't here earlier in the stream, we go look at the pitching stats so far this season, team stats, and then relievers. I do believe that the Rangers were one of the worst bullpens in baseball. Or maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, they're up here. So the Rangers have a 3.91 bullpen xFIP, and then I believe that they were number 1 in home run per 9. No, they're number 2 in home run per 9. Well, they're tied for 1 with home run per 9. So this is a quality 9 innings opportunity for a team like the Astros as our road team here. So don't leave out guys like Yordan Alvarez, Michael Brantley, even even due to this lefty-lefty matchup. But Hearn last year and the last 2 years has shown a home run problem to lefties as well. So Astros stack looks pretty decent here. I'm going to add them to my list. Astros. And then I'm not pitching Taylor Hearn. And I'm likely also not even thinking about pitching Jake Odorizzi, historical fly ball guy. I'm not sure if they're going to pop the roof open here in Globe Life or Choctaw. When I saw Choctaw have the roof open yesterday, I was like, the casino? they can do that? Why does Underdog care? So if they have the roof open again today, we'll see. But that's only, free helps out the hitting environment a little bit. Odorizzi, let's go look at his metrics so far. Was just thinking, I guess too early. Yeah, it's too early for the number shade. But if it's your team though, take it and run with it, bro. You better believe every time the Yankees are tied for first place or the best record in the American League, I'm gonna be on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like that's the fun of it, man. You gotta have fun with it. So if your team's supposed to be the worst team in baseball, but right now they have, and especially to make the nerds angry, right? If you could take WRC plus or WAR and throw it against them, do it. 7.3% swinging strike rate for Odorizzi so far. Batted ball data has given us a 6.5 xFIP, not what you want. Fly ball rate is stunningly low, but the line drive rate is really, really high. So we're just going to keep Odorizzi over there, and we're going to keep picking on him if we can. If you want to pick on Odorizzi, last couple years, he's given up more bombs to righties than lefties, so Mitch Garver is probably going to profile pretty doggone well. Yeah, he's got 4.25 rating on the bomb detector. Marcus Semien probably going to be up there as well. Garver's looking like the most solid. Now, Garver had some really, really nice batted ball data last year, but I feel like we haven't really got that Garver yet this year. So I want to do two things. We'll look at the splits last year, and especially against righties. I know he gets a lot of instant love for being for hitting lefties, but people kind of disregard his batted ball data against righties last year. So last year, well, I'm gonna highlight three numbers. The fly ball rate and line drive rate to righties last year combined almost 70%, so lifting the baseball. The hard contact rate was 45%. That's quality contact. And then the pull rate was 60%. All those numbers generate power, and that's a batted ball event that's more likely to be a homer than anything, right? High pull rate, high line drive fly ball rate, and high hard contact rate. So let's see if he's got that swing still so far this season, even though it's a young season. But the bomb detector has a lot of last year's metrics influencing the numbers, because that's the better sample size. So far this season, for Mitch Garver, just a 9% line drive rate, a 41% ground ball rate, still a 50% fly ball rate, but half of that is infield fly balls. The pull rate's still pretty high. The hard contact rate's He's having troubles calibrating that bat to get to the sweet spot that we had last year. So we're going to respect the bomb detector, liking him, but we are also going to be cognitive of the fact that he's having some troubles finding his swing right now in this early part of the season. Only 29 at bats though, so we'll give him some time to simmer down. I imagine his BABIP is going to be pretty doggone low too. Control F BABIP. Against righties, his BABIP's 136, so really unlucky in that category with a 12 WRC plus. So do we expect that to hold up? Probably not. So I do like him. I will respect the bomb detector, but I want to see that swing get back to him this year. I don't gamble outside of this, but I want to enjoy the sports book. I don't do a lot of. I can't. I'd dang near be a full-time sports bettor if I could. Texas right now, we can't do that. But I feel like if I was at a win in Rome, win in Vegas, they have those sports books lounges, right, where there's like hundreds of sports events on big screens, and you just sit down and chill out. When I used to go play poker tournaments in Louisiana or Oklahoma, I'd walk by and I was like, man, that stuff looked really good. I wish I sports bet or drank alcohol, because that looks like a cool place to hang out. Yeah, you could check that out. Elon Musk is the Dodgers fan, so you're screwed on Twitter, my dude. Uh-oh. He's going to start suppressing Dodgers hate. Where do we move to next? We go back to Pinterest or something? I don't know. We got a Blue Jays lineup. I was on the Blue Jays stack, so we can get that typed up if we're vibing. Looks like it was as expected though. Blue Jays: Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Zach Collins, Matt Chapman. He's got a fast car. Tapia is batting 6. Santiago Espino. Kosuke Kato. I don't think I'm saying that right. Bradley Zimmer. So this lineup got a little bit watered down too. Santiago. We'll confirm that. I still am cool with 1 through 5. I like picking on Nick Pivetta. It's kind of my thing. All right, Angels hosting the Guardians. Tristan McKenzie up against Patrick Sandoval. We have a run total of 3.4 for the Guardians, 4.3 for the Angels. So what I was saying to watch for on this one, and I don't think we have an Angels lineup out yet before I make a fool of myself. Caratini on the Rona list is I think Shohei Ohtani's supposed to pitch tomorrow, and I think sometimes they rest him the day before. So you might see a lineup tonight that doesn't have Ohtani in it, but I guess you could still see Ohtani in the lineup. We'll see. It's just a DH, so I know he likes to play, but keep an eye on that. If the lineup doesn't have Ohtani, it's a little less pop. We did see Taylor Ward lead off yesterday, and he showed some pop. 2 really, really good at-bats, netting 2 bombs. Nice little piece to put in front of Ohtani and Trout. Kind of take the pressure off of Ohtani to get on base. Against McKenzie, he does have some really, really decent strikeout stuff coming into the season. He's coming out of the bullpen. Don't expect him to go super, super deep here, so I probably don't get to playing him. Was a little bit curious with some of his strikeout props because there is a lot of strikeouts in this Angels lineup. We saw Bieber get to 6. That's about what I was expecting. So maybe I'm just kind of on the fence here, but one of the downsides of McKenzie coming into the season was power, especially to righties. 167 homer per 9 last year to righties, almost 1.5 the year prior. High fly ball rate, not what you want. So big time power spot for a guy like Mike Trout. Maybe Anthony Rendon and maybe Taylor Ward. He keeps it hot. So a couple names to keep an eye on. But keep an eye on Ohtani even being in the lineup. Sandoval on the bump here for the Angels. 26% K rate to righties last year. Almost a 28% K rate to lefties last year. 15% swing and strike rate overall last year. We'll see how he's been doing so far this year. Chat, the last two or three of my baseball streams got copyright struck. But it was one of those, you're not in trouble, but you don't get ad revenue. So I got to find a little bit more friendly of, not that these videos probably get like $2, $3 ad revenue, but I just don't want to take the chance of a big copyright strike one of these. 11.5% swinging strike rate so far this season. Coming off a game with the Astros, they strike out a little less, especially the lefties, and Miami's there. Let's look at the pitch type, see if that's still quality. 93 on the fastball, 85 on the slider. So last year, pitch report for either. So he's actually got a little extra zip on the fastball. Sliders was 85 last year. 93 went from, I don't know, he's about the same. Curveball changeup. All right, cool. Well, thank you, babe. Yeah. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Want to come say hi? Guys, Danny got home from work.
Hi.
Did you walk?
No, I did not.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
You want to play Mike Trout tonight?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I do.
There you go. There's Danny's pick of the day. Mike
Trout.
Check swing triple yesterday. Yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna play Sandoval though. This projected Guardians lineup, not a lot of strikeouts against lefties. Franduel Reyes can strike out against lefties, but a lot of power against lefties. Owen Miller, all right, that's the bum. And then Austin Hedges also projects pretty poorly through and through. But as far as targeting like strikeout upside, the matchup's kind of tight for Sandoval to kind of bleed through with the optimal result. But I guess on a late slate, you could do worse. The Guardians have just a 3.4 implied run total, so certainly makes sense on a more condensed slate to maybe look at Sandoval as somebody to get behind. McKenzie, I'm just kind of on the fence. I think McKenzie is a wide range of outcome type of guy. He was that last year. 80 pitches in that last appearance, so maybe he can get to 90 plus, but still in that 90 plus pitches, you're worried about walks. Give up 4 walks in that last game. Last year he had a 11% walk rate to righties, 12% walk rate to lefties, so he can waste pitches real quick. There just seems to be a lot more risk than reward on this slate for me on McKenzie. Like, how often does an 80 pitch McKenzie be the nuts against the Angels, even with the Angels' elevated strikeout rate? So I'm probably full fading McKenzie because of that. I wouldn't hate you if you took some shots at Sandoval, but I'll be honest, I probably have a few bats against him, maybe a Jose Ramirez, Franduel Reyes, guys like that. But that's also kind of going back to the bullpen stats. The Angels were also one of the worst bullpens so far this season with some home run problems. So we're winning tournaments in the 8th and 9th inning, right, boys? Let's get caught up on chat. What up, BMAC? Playing 3 lineups tonight, stacking Atlanta, Miami, and the Astros. All right. I've been waiting for years, and apparently my sportsbook should be open before 22 NFL season. Let's go. Got thoughts on Woodruff over 36.5 pitcher fantasy points? I have him exactly 18 outs and 6 strikeouts. Woodruff, is that on the afternoon? Yes, right. I could tell you what my projections say to give you a mathematical answer. So give me just a second. I'll do that for you. Let me type it up. So we will go the opposing team, which is Daniel Vogelback, Brian Reynolds, Ke'Bryan Hayes, Yoshi Sugo, Diego Castillo, Ben Gamel, Kevin Newman, Cole Tucker, Andrew Knapp. And then we'll put Brandon Woodruff here. And the K factor gives me... So what is our pitch count on Woodruff? You have a pitch count you're expecting? Probably 90 to 100. We'll say on 90 pitches, I'm getting 7.3 strikeouts. 100, I'm getting 8 strikeouts. 90 pitches, I'm getting 19 outs. And 100, I'm getting 21. So it looks like I would slightly lean you over on what you're looking at. With start and win, I have 46 fantasy points. With start and win. Yeah. Was that your Mrs. Gunn? That is my Mrs. Gunn. She just got home from work. So. Alright, cool. That's what we got there. And I'm playing the 4-game early. I wasn't playing it, or I'm not playing it, BMAC, but I guess I should have had it in the sheet just for the heck of it. Alright, let's move forward. We only got a couple more games to dissect. And then after this stream, we're going to do an NBA PrizePicks stream with Josh. So we're just about hitting that home stretch. By the way, if you guys aren't on PrizePicks, or if you haven't been paying attention throughout the NBA season, PrizePicks also gives us player props to hit OUs on for baseball. And they do stuff like pitcher strikeout props, pitcher out props, no run first inning props, fantasy score props, hits and walks, total bases, runs, RBI, stuff like that. I like to stick around the strikeouts, the pitching outs, and maybe some of the fantasy scores. But yeah, some of you guys may not know that they have it for baseball as well. So sometimes if you just ain't got the time to go formulate 100, 150 lineups, or you're busy, you can have a little bit of sweat going on in your back pocket. If you want to, and you haven't already, You can sign up using code GUNDACKER, and they will actually match your first deposit up to $100. And using that code, they see, oh, he got here because of Gun. Well, every month they take care of me as a affiliate reward. So if you want to support the streams, support the free content even more, using my code is one of the best ways to keep to keep this content going, right? So check them out. Tell them I sent you. And imagine the exact same drop for Underdog, right? You can bet some of their player props as well. Let me get my stream notes open here. We just launched that partnership with Underdog a couple days ago. So much like PrizePicks, Underdog will also match your first deposit up to $100. So if you tried PrizePicks or you like PrizePicks, you want to maybe broaden your selection of props, you can also attack Underdog. If you sign up with that link in chat, they will also double your first deposit up to $100. So you can get 2 times your money, stretch that bankroll that much more, you know? I know it's an MLB show, but do you guys like the PrizePicks Taco and Butler points? I would imagine that it is depreciated down, and it's a good spot as long as Kyle Lowry's still out. Dodgers and the D-backs. Tony Gonsolin taking on Zach Davies. The Dodgers have a 6 implied run total, so right off the bat, we're probably going to have no interest in Zach Davies pitching against the highest scoring offense on the slate. I'd imagine they keep the roof open out there in Chase Field. They have been. It is projected to be in the 90 degrees out there in Arizona. We've seen them open the roof. Now, I think they did end up closing it during the Mad Bum game, but that might have been his decision. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But if they keep the roof open again, it's going to be another positive offense environment, and I would be all about the Dodgers lineup going against Zach Davies. And even without the roof being open, Zach Davies is a soft-tossing 88-mile-an-hour fastball guy. You're not likely to miss many bats, as is against the Dodgers, and you're even less likely if you are Zach Davies. So Dodgers sign us up. They're probably going to be our highest owned stack on the slate, but for good reason. So let's add them to the list here of teams that I want to stack tonight. And then for the D-backs, Gonsolin's a pretty solid pitcher. The thing with Gonsolin that I always struggle with is getting length out of him. So far this season, though, 6 innings in that last start off of 83 pitches. So probably got a little bit more length out of him than you probably expect, but no strikeouts, right? More contact, more just eating innings here. So I probably don't have a high expectation of getting Gonsolin exposure tonight, but the D-backs do strike out quite a bit. They're one of the top teams in strikeout rates this season. And then looking at this projected lineup, a lot of 1 and 4s. It just comes down to your comfort on Gonsolin's pitch count. If you're playing the late slate or something like that, I think Gonsolin's going to, by default, be one of the options you have to get behind. So I wouldn't talk you off of that. On the main slate, I don't have a reason to prioritize him, more than the next guy. And then the last game on the docket, the Athletics at the Giants. Dalton Jeffries taking on Carlos Rodon. Rodon is probably going to be another one of my favorite plays tonight. Looking at this Athletics team, there are several guys in this lineup that don't belong in the big leagues, and they're here because of one, the Athletics just don't care. 2, they have several guys on the Corona list, now they're just filling in the blanks with some of these call-ups from AAA. So if we go pull up some of the team metrics so far, kind of paint the picture on who the Athletics have been so far this season. We sort the league in terms of ISO, greatest to lowest. Oakland is bottom 13 in ISO, and some of that might be off the field tonight with some of their runner outings. It's really coming down to Sean Murphy as their power guy, right? Sam, I appreciate that sub. Welcome to the channel. I have no interest in stacking the Athletics. I think Rodon is one of the best pitchers in the league, and I love him in this new park boost here. So adding Rodon as one of my favorite plays. I'm probably going to keep him in the tier 1 with Kevin Gausman. Last night was a great taste of the process and all being right in the world, where you could play Corbin Burnes and Max Scherzer and everything else fell into place. That's my favorite process, is being able to pay up for pitcher, let the rest of the world get cute, and try to punt guys and make it work. And there's a time and place for that. But I love the MLB when I can just pay up for pitcher, get my 25, 30 fantasy points, and go from there. And last night, Corbin Burns, Max Scherzer, they gave you a nice head start. Walker Buehler got you that CGSO, right? So paying up for pitching work, and it was so satisfying to see that. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of that tonight as well. I'm looking at Gossman, looking at Rodon, guys like that. So no athletic stacks for me. The Giants against Dalton Jeffries. Yeah, I'm there on that. I think Jock Peterson leading off for the Giants. He's been really swinging a hot bat in the last 2 days, leading off for Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski's on the Rona list. He's 4 for his last 6 with 2 bombs. That's what you want. He has a hit in 3 games straight, multiple hits in 2 of those 3. One of the picks that was highlighted in the PrizePicks MLB video was Jock Peterson over 5.5 fantasy points, and it really felt like that line was not for like a leadoff hitter. That just seemed a little too low. So I don't know if they have an algorithm that's like based on an average rolling X amount of day average, but I felt like Jock Peterson over 5.5 fantasy point was too low, and so did Rich. That was one of his picks. So we'll add that to the notes. Over 5.5 fantasy points. Boom. All right. Has to be over with no Larry. Yeah, I'm with that. We do have a D-back sign-up, by the way. But as far as stacking Giants, I think Dalton Jeffrey is a contact guy. So if you're going to allow the team to put the ball in play, sometimes just good things happen for an offense, and I think we have some talent here. So I don't mind getting some Giant stacks into the mix. Luis Gonzalez hit a bomb last night. Didn't know he can do that. Neither did he. That was his first. But through and through, based on this projected lineup, I can get behind Jock Peterson, Brandon Belt, Darren Ruff, Crawford, guys like that. So not my top stack by any stretch of the imagination, but after talking through the slate, I like Blue Jays, White Sox, Astros, Dodgers. I'm going to add Yankees. Remember, there is some rain risk in that game. Matter of fact, let's refresh Ross' page over at rotogrinders.com/weather/MLB and see if he made any changes to any of these reports. Looks like no. So keep an eye on that Yankees situation, because I do have interest in Severino and the Yankees bats. But that's what we got. I'll update some lineups. If you guys have any lasting questions, comments, concerns, I probably got about 10 minutes to knock that out, and then I'll get on the air in 20 minutes with Josh, and we'll talk some NBA pretty in depth. We did have an Orioles lineup come out: Cedric Mullins, Anthony Santander, Trey Mancini, Ryan Mountcastle, Rougned Odor, Austin Hayes, Ramon Urias, Robinson, Rob Chirinos, Jorge Mateo. That is your confirmed Orioles lineup. Looking at the Marlins, that's not out yet. Red Sox, boom. Did we get a Cubs lineup? We did. Ooh, this is different. Michael Hermosillo, Sia Suzuki, Patrick Wisdom is batting third. That's interesting. Sia Suzuki. There we go. Wilson Contreras. Oh, Mr. Wilson. Frank Schwindel. John Gomes. Nick Madrigal. Ian Happ. Nico Horner. Lineup's a little bit different. So they did stockpile some righties at the top there, especially some power righties, Suzuki and Wisdom. Maybe they give Fried fits, but again, big ground ball guy, low hard contact guy, keeps the ball in the park. So nothing's really going to change my approach there, but kudos to the Cubs for making some changes. I think that's it. I don't think I'm missing. Oh, maybe I do have a Rangers lineup did come out. Brad Miller, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager. No Mitch Garver. So we did all that Mitch Garver research for nothing. I guess we'll look at the bomb detector too if you guys want. Can we get some likes though? We baseball content not as popular as NFL and basketball. So those of you that are true baseball grinders, man, I got love for you. I appreciate it. And I need you guys to help keep these videos afloat, man. We are fighting for a couple hundred clicks. So every thumbs up matters. even if you don't catch yourself being able to watch the whole stream, interacting, engaging with these videos, the baseball prize picks videos, leaving comments, any type of engagement with a video. And that's just me. Any of your favorite content creators on YouTube, engage with their videos. It helps them, I promise. Yeah, so that's our Rangers lineup. No Mitch Garver, and that's a shame because he was going to be one of the highest bomb detector guys. We did have a D-backs lineup come out. Varsho, Pavin Smith is batting second. David Peralta, Christian Walker, Seth Beer, Ketel Marte batting sixth. Imagine, bro, that dude was like MVP votes last year, right? Like people wanted to trade him, and he got demoted to the 6th spot. Sergio Perdomo. Okay, Perdomo. All right, that's our confirmed D-backs lineup. With all of that, let's go sort the bomb detector, and then we'll see what you guys got. Bomb detector likes. Guess who? Aaron Judge at the tippy top. Joey Gallo. It's all the Yankees at the top. AJ Pollock's up here. Jorge Soler's up there. Alex Bregman, Yasmani Grandal, Higashioka, more Yankees, Salvi, Kyle Garlick. A lot of 4 ratings. Yesterday we only had 3 guys with over a 4 rating in the bomb detector. Today a little bit more. So maybe some more stacks or prudent. A lot of Yankees up here, Astro stack a must. For me, yes. For me, I think the teams I must have some exposure to are Blue Jays, White Sox, Astros, Dodgers, Yankees. And then I'll start stretching from there based on how many lineups I run. But that was kind of like the forefront thoughts that I had talking through the slate. But as we start adjusting to ownership and stuff like that, we'll start changing. We don't have enough confirmed Astros lineup yet, so there's obviously still a curveball or two that could happen. But, man, the projected lineup looks pretty doggone solid. And Taylor Hearn definitely has some leaks. That bullpen has some leaks. And if they pop the lid up in Globe Life or Choctaw, it just helps the offense that much more. So I do like them quite a bit. Judge's birthday. Yeah, there's a lot of videos from Judge's birthday party last night. Hope they don't come into that game with a little hangover, Maybe they'll welcome a rain delay or two. I don't know. Oh, here, I appreciate you, Gilbert. Hey, we have a free Discord if you guys didn't know. Link to that's in the description below. If you sign up for Underdog using my code, will actually get you hooked up with a role in the Discord. So if you do that, hit myself up or message Danielle. I might reorganize some of these channels. But getting that free Discord, link in the description below. Lots of stuff to sweat, and we're seeing the boys talk, not just prize picks, but underdog as well. So you can be part of the conversation. And then maybe some of the MLB gang, you know what I mean, can come in here and make the MLB chat a little lively. Right now, it's a lot of the bot giving you guys updates on homers and lineups. So carve out a space, man. Be early leaders in this community. We've got like 400 or 500 of you guys already in there. So be sure to jump in there, man. Be sure to jump into it. Hey, twitter.com/Gundacker. If you got anything else for me, hit me up on Twitter. I'm going to be back in a little bit. I'm going to finish this coffee and get a little rest here, update some projections for NBA, and then we'll be back in just a few minutes to chop up tonight's NBA playoff slate. And then after it's all said and done, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. You guys want to join me? You want to get the spreadsheet? Go to RunDFS.com, click VIP memberships, get signed up. A couple options up there. We probably need to come up with another bulk option, but lots of success so far. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. I appreciate you making part of my day, be part of your day. I'll catch you on the flip side. Tell somebody you love them because you know I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.